Hi. It is 60 years, more than 60 years, since India became independent. And yet, we have a society where corruption is king, where violence is a part of life today, where high walls have come up around houses, around in the colonies that we have in India. Everyone hiding behind walls. A lot of black money in circulation. What's the problem here? Why could we not, in 60 years, get our house in order? What happened which let us down? We had some of the best leaders in the world who led us to independence. There is absolutely no doubt that people like Gandhi and Nehru were genuinely great leaders in their own right, in different ways. What happened, I think, at the end of this independence, which was focused entirely on one objective, that is getting ourselves the capacity to rule ourselves. What happened after that was that our leaders, most of them basically backed out from politics. People like Nehru came forward and were very popular, but unfortunately he took on the path which led us down the path of socialism and corruption. People like Rajagopalachari then stepped forward in order to battle these socialist ideas. But it was a bit too late. The kind of thinking that had to be done to make India a successful country upon independence did not really happen. So as a result, the colonial infrastructure of governance that we had inherited continued, though without understanding its incentive structures. We didn't understand why we had a parliament, though we knew we needed a democracy. We didn't understand why we must pay our politicians well and our bureaucrats well, but also hold them to account. As a result of this, the stagnation in thinking, let's say, for 60 years, we have reached a point where today the most corrupt in India tend to rise above in the governance structures and become our leaders, both in politics and in bureaucracy. The decisions taken in India are therefore suboptimal. A lot of wasted effort is involved, a lot of wasted opportunities. Among many things, we have had, therefore, a very high population growth rate because the poor tend to have more children for good reason. They are very sensible. They know that if no one else can educate their children, then they must take care of their own children by having more children. The more children they have, the greater the chance that one of them will be able to look after them in their old age. These are the kind of basic thoughts that parents have in the poorer sections of society, making India a very excessively populous country. So we managed to get independence, but somehow we managed to not get what we really wanted, freedom. We didn't get good governance. We didn't get a society which we could be proud of. So I was born in 1959, and in 1982 I joined the civil service, very hopeful that I would be able to contribute to India's development. Being a science student in the past, without much knowledge of politics or administration, this was a great challenge for me. Over the course of the next 15-20 years, I learned a lot, working within the government, also educating myself through a degree in economics from Punjab University and later on a PhD from the University of Southern California, among other qualifications. What really was interested is not the degrees, but in learning about what's the cause of our problems in India. And it became more evident to me over the course of the 1990s that my continuing within the government wasn't going to help India. I needed to get out and do something about it. I needed to know what's the solution, and I needed to go and do something about it. By 1998, I had decided that I needed to start a political party. Now, of course, that's easier said than done. It's been more than 10 years now, and more than 3 attempts have gone by without any successful result. Why do I want a political party, a separate political party? I think I'm talking of a separate political party here because the current parties have failed. They don't have the underlying structures of integrity and good policy that I'm looking for. When you don't have a fundamental underlying philosophy that promotes integrity, and you're willing to accept compromises throughout your political structure system from the top to the bottom, what you're going to get is what you have today. You don't get better than that if you don't have better leaders. So I decided that we needed a totally different party. Now, of course, many people have decided similar things, but unfortunately, we differ slightly in our views about what exactly we're talking about. So we may mean different things. As a result, we don't get to come together. Anyway, 2004 was my last attempt, major attempt, where I supported the Swatantra Bharat Party in Delhi. We organized kind of a workshop followed by a get-together on 26th January 2004. A few thousand farmers came along that Sharad Joshi had invited. We had a bunch of speeches. We all felt good. We thought something is going to happen. It didn't really happen. Very soon this effort failed. And the key reason why it failed was that while we might broadly agree on the principles, I do agree with the Swatantra Bharat Party's broad principles. The problem is leadership. We need the kind of leaders. We need 1,500 to 2,000 leaders who can take on and challenge the existing political parties in each constituency, in each election. We cannot have a political movement for freedom by sitting around with 25 people or having 1,000 farmers to talk to. We need leaders. We need independent, clear leaders who know what needs to be done and who work together to get the job